This isn't a cry for attention or anything like that. It's just kind of a emotion I want to document. I am exhausted, and I'm like halfway through this time period of waiting on the results from the PGT-A testing, and my period's happening, and I just feel like completely depleted. I don't want to do anything. The idea of doing anything is like anxiety inducing at this point. I don't want to be social. I don't want to not be social. It's a really sticky place to be in. I don't know, it's just how I feel. Just want to share it. Okay. All right, you ready?
Hey Meredith, Dr. Tonimer again. Sorry to call you twice. I thought I would just give it a try, but wanted to let you know I got your PGT report back, and I didn't want to leave you hanging, and I wanted to keep you posted, but you have 2 normal embryos! Fantastic! We can connect and talk soon about the next step. Yay, congrats, congrats, congrats. Have a happy 4th, and talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Yay!
I told Whitney I just gotta be on the phone with her all the time.
I know. Every time. Ezekiel, I need you to take a deep breath because mommy's getting exciting news right now.
Both embryos are good.
I'm so hey, Mom.
You want to show Whitney? Okay. I'm so happy. He wants to show her his minion.
Oh, God.
It's a mega minion. See, it has
Whoa.
Oh, it has stretchy arms. So cool. Zoe, can you say congratulations? Are you so excited right now?
I'm so excited. Wait, let's see if we can get Michael in on this party. Come on, Mikey.
What are you gonna make a baby out of?
Some material. Guess what?
What?
Both embryos are normal.
Yay! We love a normie.
Yes.
A normie. 2 normies.
So excited.
A baby in a spear.
I got an heir and a spare, yeah. In college, my gay best friend and I joked that if we hadn't found love by 40, we'd have a baby with each other. 20 years later, I'm pulling the ripcord. From deciding on solo motherhood to choosing IVF, I'm Meredith, and this is the backup plan. Making videos is so much easier when I have good news to share. Happy July, guys. I thought I had a whole nother week until I would have news to share. To come at you a week early with like, the best news is, I can't tell you how relieving it is. Like, it's so funny how I went from recording that Instagram about how upset I was and how, lethargic I was. What was it, an hour later, 2 hours later, getting that news? It felt honestly like 5 minutes, because when I'm depressed, I kind of lose perspective on time. So when I've retold this story to a couple different people, I've said like, oh my God, like if they called me like 5 minutes later after I made that Instagram. So, yeah, my mood has been raised considerably since then. I was really prepared for the same news again. If not the same news, like similar news or even worse news, like knowing that I could come out of that whole second egg retrieval with nothing. Like the numbers just at the end seemed to take such a sharp decline. It made me incredibly nervous, and I was just kind of holding up, not really thinking about what was happening, but really metabolizing it in my body, like regardless. So yeah, I mean, I've just kind of been floating on cloud 9 since then. My mom has been so excited. I have watched that reaction back a couple of times, and she doesn't get excited about things too often. So to see her like literally out of her body excited about something was really great. She knew how hard the first round was for me, but not being here for it, like she didn't. I think this last egg retrieval she really lived it. And so I'm glad to give her good news. You know, I'm glad to give her something to be happy about, even though it's not like my responsibility and boundaries and what have you, but it's just nice. It's just nice to have good news, guys. It's just nice to have good news. So we have a 4AA and we have a 4BB. I thought it was a 4BA, but maybe it was miscommunicated. I'm speaking to my doctor tomorrow about what the next steps are. I was under the impression that I would have to wait until my next period started to start this process, but I've talked to other people who jumped right into it. So I am so eager to have this doctor's appointment and find out what's happening. I do have a question I'm going to ask her because having gone through 2 egg retrievals, I'm a little bit nervous about using the 4AA embryo, the first embryo transfer. I don't know the science of it all. I don't know if, how do I put this? My first egg retrieval didn't turn out the way I thought it would. And so my thought is if I go into the frozen embryo transfer, I don't want it to turn out the way that I don't expect and to have wasted a 4AA on a kind of like a test round. Do you know what I mean? So I'm kind of thinking about using the 4BB first. So that's a question I have for my doctor, and I will, of course, let you know the answers. Of course, the subject of sex came up as well. They asked me on the phone if I wanted to know the sex, and I was like, no, it's gonna be a surprise. So now, I get to plan my embryo shower, my blasta shower. Actually, I don't, because Christina has already found a venue. So she may be taking that whole responsibility on very quickly. I don't know when I'll have it. Everything kind of feels up in the air in the best way possible right now, because I have 2 embryos. I have 2 embryos that are healthy and ready to go. And this whole time I've been told how gorgeous my uterus looks and how good the lining looks. And so I just feel like this is the part where I really get to shine, where I have a little bit more control over things, and I could be pregnant soon. We could be there. To know that I've got my 2 healthy ones, and I still have Chip, who I can still talk to a geneticist about and see where we lie there and if there's any issue in using that embryo or not. So I've got 3 little chances lined up and ready to go, and I'm just over the moon. Guys, I bought a baby bag. Is it putting the cart before the horse? A little bit, maybe, but I want it. I love bags. I love bags. And I found this one and I was like, oh, that's everything I think I would want in a baby bag. And it was on sale for 75% off. 75% off. It was only $45, normally $180. I had to get it. So it's fine. That's okay. I was just so excited. I was so stoked. I could be pregnant on my holiday vacation. It would be second trimester. And from what I hear, that's a really good time to travel because you have a lot of energy and stuff. And I just think of having a baby bump in holiday pictures. It's just going to be very cute. We're going on another Christmas market river cruise. This time the whole family's coming. So niece and nephew and brother and sister-in-law and me and my mom. So it's going to be really pleasant. And I just hope that everything is good and easy at that time. And that I have holiday pictures with a little baby bump. It'd be so cute. Okay, I wish I had more to share, but I find all that out tomorrow, and I will update you in the next episode. The only other thing, since last week I talked about ways to support a friend going through the IVF process, I thought it might be helpful to talk a little bit about how to protect your peace if you are a single mother by choice, or if you are going through the IVF process, or both. There's only so much that we can do to control how people interact with us, and by that I mean we can't. But there are a number of things that we can do ourselves to protect our peace, and these are just little hints and tricks that I've kind of found along the way have been helpful. First of all is have support lined up. If you seek it, it will come. I think it's helpful to find friends who have already gone through a fertility battle of their own. I think it's important to seek out people who are single mothers by choice, whether you do that through the umbrella of Single Mothers by Choice, which is a group you can join. I haven't, because I've happened to find my own people along the way through Instagram, and there's a great community on Reddit as well. And if you can find somebody who's going through what you're going through at the same time, I have 2 Canadian pals who we just happen to be on the pretty much the exact same timeline. The one did the egg retrieval when I did my first egg retrieval, and the second one did the egg retrieval, like literally it was either the day before or after mine. We're all kind of on the same timeline, and it's been really nice because that person knows exactly what you're going through. And when you line up and have the same results, it's really cute. You can't control that. There's no way for that to happen, but it has happened in my circumstance, and it's been really nice to have somebody to celebrate with who knows exactly what you're going through. You know, having family that's gonna be that support that says like, I'm gonna be there for you for these things, and being able to rely upon them is like incredibly, incredibly helpful. But you can give birth on your own, you can carry it on your own, and you can be the sole parent on the birth certificate, but it takes a village. There are going to be other people around, and the sooner that you can find them, the better. The next tip I have is to know your audience. I learned pretty quickly that there are people who get this and people who don't. And there are people who are going to be very excited for you, and then there are people who are going to judge you or not approve. And you'll just see it in their eyes. Usually, like when you tell them what you're doing, the response that they'll give you is, oh. And that is very telling. And it's not to say that that person doesn't love you or that person won't come around to you, but just know that maybe that's not somebody that you can go to for the hugs, the excitement, the joyousness, the celebration, the sadness, the grief. Like, they're not gonna get it, especially if they don't know anybody who's ever gone through fertility treatment, especially this very like nuclear version of a family that was like advertised to us in the 1950s and for whatever reason has really like stuck into people's brains. Find your group, find your people, and go to them with your celebration. Know that a majority of the people in your circle are not gonna understand what you're going through, even if you explain it at length. Like, I have some friends who didn't get it but got really excited to learn and are always asking me questions, and I'm teaching them IVF as I go. And, you know, I've chosen to be very public about this, so I know my duty and I fulfill that as best as I can because I want to just have more people in this world know how to support people through it. There are also people who like may be supportive but don't understand all the different steps. This past week, I've gotten so excited and I've called up some people and I've said, I've got great news. And they go, you're pregnant? And I'm like, not yet. Not yet. There's so many exciting steps along the way to it. And when I say, no, but I found out that my 2 embryos are healthy, they go, oh, great. They don't realize what a huge step it is to get to that place. So these are also the same people that I'm going to go to and say, I'm pregnant. And they're going to say, oh, finally. I feel a little like the little girl who cried wolf, the little girl who cried pregnancy. Although I'm not. I'm very honest with people about exactly what step I'm at. Ugh, it's just annoying. And then the final like quick tip I have to share at this juncture is know that you don't have to tell everybody everything at every step of the way, because as I said, they're not totally going to understand. And because also there are these really important moments that happen, good and bad, that you have to sit with and you have to feel it. And you have to celebrate with yourself and you have to be sad by yourself. And so give yourself that, because you're doing it on your own. And I don't know, I'm a proponent of being alone. That sounds bad. I just have very strong feelings about knowing yourself and about knowing what's important to you, to just enjoy that time you have by yourself. It's precious. It's special. So when you get that good news, maybe like sit in it for a second. If you get that bad news, know how you feel about it before you go to somebody else with it. I just think that's helpful along the way. So be strong. Even if you have people with that dreaded, how's it going question, even if you are sharing your story publicly like me, know that it is your right to keep that information to yourself at any moment. And enjoy the process, because there are really high highs. The lows are really low, but ultimately I know I'm gonna come out of this with what I'm supposed to have. I've said, I'm still open to adoption. I'm still open to foster care and stuff like that. I'm just taking this moment right now to do this biologically because I have the ability to, and I want to milk it for as long as I can. But just live honestly and truthfully, and the right stuff's going to happen. It's going to come along. I hope you guys like recording from my office. I feel very brave recording in front of this bookshelf because there are a number of very embarrassing titles. My favorite embarrassing title is The Virgin's Lover, which I've never read, but I thought would look funny on a bookshelf. Nobody said anything about it, so I'm pointing it out. But zoom in, let me know what your favorite title is. And thanks, guys, for another week. I'm so stoked to edit this and get it out to you because I'm just over the moon. Okay, bye.
The Backup Plan is created, produced, and hosted by me, Meredith Kate. Julian Hagans is my co-producer. You can find us on social media at Backup Plan Pod. The best place to get updates is to sign up for our newsletter at backupplanpod.com, where we also post all episodes, show notes, and transcripts. Thank you for listening.